Three big moves from three big tech companies today. We're calling it a tech triple play. Let's kick things off with Alphabet. So that stock topping the tape and hitting record highs for the third day in a row. Shares spiking after Pivotal upgraded the stock to a buy with a $1,650 price target. It's one of the most bullish on the street. Analysts optimistic over the recent leadership change and expectations of strong revenue growth this year. So is Alphabet the FANG name that you would bet on this year? Guy, is that your number one?
And I think
FANG?
Karen would agree as well. I mean, in terms of valuation, Dan's going to fricassee me on this one, but in terms of valuation, I think it's the most interesting out of those four. And in terms of the regime change, and we talked about it the night that it happened, I mean, this stock finally got through that $1,300 level, which was a huge double top. It's been moving to the upside ever since. I mean, seemingly valuation makes sense. And I think in earnings at the end of the month, the stock continues to trade higher. So the short answer is yes.
Karen?
I mean, it's an extraordinary franchise. I think the valuation isn't so expensive, especially when you back out that cash hoard, which they are only beginning to use, right? They've said a $25 billion buyback over some amount of time, which we don't actually know. They can be a lot more aggressive than that. When you back out the cash here, this is a mid-20s multiple for an unbelievably great franchise that spends a ton of money still, right? So I think the valuation is fine here. It's my biggest position. I'm happy to see that 1650. I'm not really thinking that's in the short term, but hopefully one day it'll hit there. I like it. I feel that, it's up today just on that. Nothing else happened today. So we have to wait for earnings, but I like it a lot.
Dan, what do you make of this? I've been thinking a lot about the new California Protection.
He's ready to fricassee.
No,
Look at him. He's pointing like he's going to fricassee.
You know what I love about a lot of things I love about Karen. On December 31st, her final trade was on buying Google into 2020 because I started 2019 buying Google into that year. And listen, that 35% rally off of the lows from the summer makes a lot of sense. But I think you have to go back and think about, to your point about regulation, why was the stock trading all the way down there in the summer? And it was trading down there because people were worried about all these issues, the spend that they're going to have to do with regulation. As we go into this election season, I think it's going to become an increasingly hot topic. And so I don't know. I mean, Facebook, Guy mentioned it earlier, they've taken their medicine on the earnings front, on the spend front. And so I suspect that investors think that that's going to be a slower lift. It might be a harder lift for Google.
But Facebook's exposure on spend is around security, for their platform.
Have you heard of YouTube?
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not. No, but they don't
really?
have anywhere near,
Really?
as far as I'm concerned. First of all, they don't have the track record of malfeasance that Facebook does. They have. Facebook can't really tell you what it's going to cost them to actually ensure their core product. I think in the case of Google, the irony is, of course, they were often penalized for having this core business that people said was either shrinking or coming under pressure. In fact, the core business has proven to be growing at the same rate, and they're now getting rewarded, much as so many other businesses are that actually have this recurring cash stream. It's trading at a higher multiple than Google Bets, and then YouTube, which we'd kind of like to see broken up anyway, because if they had to spin this off, this thing would be worth a lot more than they're getting credit for now.